We're sitting in the garden of Archbishop Emeritus Elias Chacour on the campus of Mar Elias Educational Institutions in the Christian village of Ibilene here in Galilee. Archbishop, thanks so much for inviting us to your home and giving us your time this morning.
Well, I want to welcome you and welcome all those who through you will hear my voice or will take the message, and I hope there will be many.
Archbishop, you studied at the best schools in Paris. What made you come back to Galilee, where you grew up, to be a priest?
Oh, first, because I am born in Galilee, I am another man from Galilee. Second, because all my studies refer to their origin, Palestine, Galilee, and I am from Galilee. There's nothing that can equal living in Galilee for me.
What dedication do you feel to the people of Galilee?
I don't have any dedication for the people as if they are something in front of me. I am part of that people. I have a dedication for myself through my people. And since they are oppressed, since they have been fooled, their land has been taken, confiscated, their land has been changing names from Palestine to Israel, I felt so much sympathy with these people who are normally poor. Now they are much better. Poor, deprived, and voiceless. I wanted to be a voice for them. I don't have a loud voice, but I normally whisper my message to the heart of people.
What can you teach us about your vision of the relationship between Jews and Christians in the Holy Land?
Well, first we have to be aware that the problem of the Holy Land is not Christians versus Jews or Muslims versus Jews. It's not a religious conflict, and it's not at all a racial conflict. Let us to say Semite against non-Semite, meaning the Jews Semite, the Palestinian non-Semite. But we are much more Semite than any Jew. So what's the conflict about? It is about territory. Who owns the land of Palestine? The Jews say, we own it. The Palestinians say, no, we own it, it's ours. The land belongs to us, and I say loud and clear, the land cannot belong to the Jews, and it cannot belong to the Palestinians either. The land is God's. Jews and Palestinians have to learn anew how to relate to the land, how to share their lives together, how to share their plight, their dreams, their joys together. Then there is a place on that land for both nations, the Jews and the Palestinians.
Archbishop, why have you spent so much of your career establishing your school?
Well, it's not only my school. I was fortunate to establish several youth centers in several places in Galilee. It is simply because I realized after I came to this village that our people are a very young people. 75% of them are under 27 years old, and 50% are under 14 years old. I said to myself that our future, we Palestinian Arabs, Christians, and Muslims, our future with the Jews would depend on the quality of education we give to our children. Not on anything else, but on our capacity to face the Jews eye to eye on the same level. And I decided to dedicate all my life to the 14% of my people. And that was not a mistake. I never regretted that. Because the more you live with the young people, you never age. You never become older. The more you live with them, the more you mature. And I felt that the day I became the Archbishop of Galilee and was transferred to my residence in Haifa, then I began to become older and older and older, and very fast, 5 years a day almost. I was dreaming to retire and to say, God, thank you. I have seen your salvation. Now I rest, and I am the very happy retired Archbishop.
This year, Mar Elias High School was rated #1 high school in the country, both Palestinian and Jewish high schools. How did that make you feel?
I feel very grateful, very humbled, and so proud that this insignificant school I started in 1981 on this mount that was called the Mount of the Ogre. I baptized it the Mount of Light. This small, poor school thrived and made large progress. And now it is not only excellent school, but it is the largest Christian school in Galilee. When I say largest Christian school, I don't mean that we have only Christian students. Because we are Christians, we cannot blind our eyes on the existence of the Muslims with us around. We opened our doors to the Muslims and they streamed to the school. Now out of 3,500, we have 60% Muslims. That makes me feel really rewarded. This is the only reward I want when I see that our school is successful. Last September there was an examen on the level of the state.
An examination.
Yeah, a kind of psychometric examination. We were surprised that only one student in Israel got the highest score, 800 from 800. It was one of our children here.
Wow.
How can I not be happy? How can I not be proud and humbled with the gifts that these children have? They are great kids. I think they will be like the leaders in the future.
They already are, and I think most of your graduates get into the best schools in Israel, right?
Yeah, those who can afford it do it. Otherwise, we have all kinds of graduates who go to different faculties, different fields in life. And it's true wherever I go, either in the hospital, in governmental offices, in any place, I found graduated from the school here, and I'm so proud because they relate to me as Abuna, as our father, with so much affection, and they know they have that affection from me also.
What is your vision for the future?
We are in Israel. I don't know if anyone has a vision for the future. We learned not to look so far away. We learned just to look day per day. And today, I have the hope that my students will nurture and keep the smile of hope, the hope for them, for their future. I cannot be optimistic. All the time we are segregated into number one and number two. The Jews are number one, we are number two. All the time we are considered as a minority, a tolerated minority. I hate tolerance. I want to be accepted, welcomed, as I welcome the Jews and I accept them with affection, with brotherly love, as being my blood brothers. So it's a very, very big dream. That's why I do not touch politics. I don't want to be a political man. I don't want to be a man of business. I am a clergy who believes in the goodness of individuals beyond the foreign policy. It's like you in America. We hate your foreign policy. And we love you so much. We don't know how to love you more because you are so kind, so open-minded, so hospitable. There is a huge difference between foreign policy and for you and you Americans. I wish all Americans would be like you Methodists who love peace.
You know, the people watching this are going to be pilgrims who are planning to come to the Holy Land.
Yeah.
What would you like them most to know before they come?
That they are coming to a holy land. The land is not holy by itself. The land is holy by those who come to visit it. It's these pilgrims who make our land holy. And I want them to come not so much to visit the Holy Sepulchre. It's very important, the Holy Sepulchre, but it's empty. It's the only place where it is written, He is not here, He is risen. And I want these pilgrims to know that we are their brothers. We are the ones, the children of those who started to spread around the mission of Jesus Christ. So if they come here, it's good to visit the holy shrines. But it's much better to knock on the door of some Christian community and to recognize the brothers who were here living for 2,000 years. And we are ready. We want to welcome them. They don't need to say we are coming in 1 hour. They just appear and we welcome them.
What would you like these pilgrims most to take back home with them?
Well, first of all, I like them after 2 weeks to go back home and say, I don't understand anything from the situation. But one fact is, no matter what, when I go back, I never read my Bible the same thing I used to read it. And I discovered that the situation is far more complicated than the simplistic image that we see in our newspapers. No reality with one side. It has two sides. Let them consider the other side, the silent side. We don't want to be the Indians of America. We don't want to be the Aboriginals of Australia. We want to be the Palestinians of Palestine, the Israeli citizens who want to build this country together with the Jews, but we do not want to be foreigners in our own country.
Well, thank you, Archbishop, so much for taking the time with us and inviting us here to your garden. We see your chickens and your ducks, and they're welcoming us, and it's really an honor to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you all who watch this movie. Know that here we are struggling to be friends with our Jewish friends, our brothers. We don't want the Jews to be killed. We don't want Israel to disappear, but we do not want to be killed by Israel. We don't want to disappear morally, nationally, and ethnically, so we are waiting for you. Come and see. Come and live with us. We'll be honored with your presence.
We've been with Archbishop Abuna Elias Chacour, a man of Galilee.